What's up? Looks like it's working good. Hey, what's up, Yvette? How's it going? What's up, you fear the scat man? You gotta explain your name, you fear the scat man. I wanna know the explanation behind your name. So hopefully it's going good. I think it's working good. Yep, from what I can see, it all looks like it's going good. So just move on over here. So here's our project for today. Gee, and that top camera's way off. What's up, Stephen Ward? Can you guys hear me okay? You should be able to hear me okay, yeah? We're trying a different mic setup. I didn't want to be wearing my headset, so I got the music kind of low. Hopefully the microphone is good. Music is a bit loud. Alright, let me turn this down. That's too low for me. What about there? That I could hear it there, but it's not too loud. If not, I'll just turn it off. It's fine. I'll just deal with silence. So anyway, music is fine. Cool. Cool. What's up, Ramirez Entertainment? What's up, Jason? Maybe because it's garage, it echoes. I guess. You're also like there's one speaker of each side of the microphone, so maybe I'll bring out the other microphone since for the next month. What I've decided to do is kind of cut commissions off, so I'm not allowing any more work in, so that I can jam out a bunch of panels. So being that I'm gonna meet a bunch of artists, I want to take some panels with me to California to kind of spread a little bit of the Mike's Brush love around. So that's kind of what I have planned here. And you guys could guess who this one is for. So you'll probably be able to hear some of the traffic going by, especially like loud motorcycles and stuff. And the wind has been off the chain today, so I apologize up front for that. But we'll still get it going in here. And so what I've done is I've prepped up a few panels. Get ready for live stream mania this month, basically, as I will be trying to jam out all these panels over the coming month. I'm gonna try to do at least 5 or 6 panels. Yeah. Let me refresh this because I can't see if it's looks like it didn't update. Oh, there you go. That's better. Cool. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to jam out all these panels all this month. Yeah, there is one project I got to do, but it's not nothing big. Probably won't even make the Instagrams. But you know, it's just some wheels. I'm just gonna be painting some wheels. They're already here, so it's not something I could like. You can't bring them. They were already in here, so gotta get those done, and then we'll be ready for Cali. And right now, the plan is we're hoping that Disneyland is like reopened by then, because we want to take Violet out to Disneyland. Because it is going to be her birthday on the 10th. So on the first day of the rendezvous is actually Violet's birthday, so that thing. And so I've done is just made myself a nice little cutout, and I'm just going to kind of lightly hit it in, and then I'm going to do my typical freehand and some shields. We are going to use quite a bit of colors today. But I'm going to start off with whites. And then when I'm done to this whole thing, I kind of want to give it, I have all the gear stencils right here, so we're going to kind of give it a geared out background. I don't want to say steampunky because I don't think it's going to be too steampunky, but the whole idea here is to like precision, right? So you guys could probably already guess who this particular painting is going to be modeled for. Now I can't tell if anybody's chatting. I don't know if it's working or not. I feel like I gotta bring up the YouTube chat. What's up, break a leg? So yeah, so there we got our nice little transfer, easy to see. But we'll keep this because the whole idea behind this is then I can use it if I need to make a certain cutout, or like probably at the end, I'll probably end up cutting the whole thing out to just kind of give the whole thing a nice outline around. So this particular panel, what I did is lay down sealer black, and then I laid down some pearlized silver over it, and then these blue and yellow lines you see going around are actually the new wicked opaque limelight green, and what is this color called? The daylight blue. I'm like, these two colors right here, bro, I feel like Will Smith. I'll be like, that's hot. Those colors is hot. I love those colors, so I had to use them on something. And this particular painting is going to be the one. So I'm just getting my cutting mat so I can have it handy here in case I need it. Alrighty. So anyway, let's get going with some white. I'm going to turn down this pressure just a little bit. It's opaque. Yep. What's up, Rue? RC Rue, how's it going? What's up, Daryl? How's it going? In for the end. All right. What's up, Vinny? What's up, Air Todd? Yo, how's it going? Your nickname from when you were younger, drinking days. Scatman, it's about stuttering. I'm a scat man. Is that the one you're talking about? I like that song. I used to play that song a lot at the flea market while I'd be painting, because it's a good song to like keep upbeat to. Yeah, that's a cool song. I like that song. It must be nice doing smaller work for a change. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice change of pace. So also the thing is, what I wanted to do is, right, I'm going to basically what is the airbrush mecca, you know. I gotta show up with my A game, you know. It's one thing to kind of be like, yeah, just bash, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't show up with your A game, it don't matter. So I just want to make some panels, again, meeting the artists, and hopefully make some good friends and lasting impressions, you know. I don't expect to get anything from anybody, but I know there's certain artists that I've looked up to over the years that probably deserve one. And this one here is obviously for you know, just being a cool guy and helping out with the giveaway and everything. And he's just super talented, and he's the only guy I know doing paintings on blades. So it's all right, you're gonna see if you can share it on Facebook. Facebook is acting weird. Yeah. Breaking drone legs all the time. Break a leg. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Brian from Boston. What's up, Brian? How's it going? Brian Oakley from like the Oakley brand. That'd be dope. Send me some glasses, man. You're always awesome. Always help. Thank you, Yvette. I'm just trying to help any way I can. So yeah, I mean, I guess I could just say who this one is for. This one's for Stephen Leahy, so he helped out with the giveaway, and he's been pretty cool. You know, he actually answers. Because I did reach out to some other artists about the giveaway, and literally did not even hear a response. Same about sharing it out. You know, I asked some artists if they wouldn't mind sharing it out and stuff. And literally did not get a response. So as far as I'm concerned, Steve deserved it just for being a cool guy. But on top of all that, he does do amazing work, and I kind of, he inspires me a little bit with the way he paints. So yeah. I still quite don't understand how he makes money off of the tiny paintings. But you know, I'm glad he knows how, and he's doing that, and that's amazing. ¿Cómo estás, Chapito? Saludos, saludos. Ramirez, yeah, I mean, if you want to hit that like button, I would appreciate it. So all I'm going to do is base everything in white, and then I'm going to start laying in some color. And the reason I want to lay white first is because, like I said, we laid the pearl silver in, and if I just go laying in color, I don't want some of that silver popping through and kind of rearing its ugly head over the actual painting itself. I want to keep that to the back, and like I said, we're going to add maybe some gears and stuff in the back. And I do want to keep this frame. I worked hard on this frame. We're going to keep the frame. So you should do a collab on one painting. So yeah, I mean, it'd be awesome. I'm down to collab. There's actually an artist I'm doing a collab here with on Saturday. So on Saturday, May 8th, what'll be 2 p.m. my time. So 2 p.m. Mountain Time over on Hiramahi's channel. So Hiramahi is an Italian YouTuber, and he does a lot of various things. He's gotten really good at doing fishing lures and stuff. You just type it in, pretty unique name, Hiramahi, Hiramahi, just like it sounds. And again, talented guy, but he wants to do an interview with me. I guess he's doing like interviews with artists and stuff. So I'm always down to collab. Like I said though, I've every time I've messaged an artist, it's pretty much been silence in return. I don't hold it against anybody. I mean, everybody has their life, doing their stuff, you know. Maybe some people are just busy. But that's generally the response I get. But if anybody ever hits me up, I'm more than willing to do anything, to do some kind of collab. Whether it be a painting, a video, whatever it is. So yeah, on Saturday, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, make sure you go check out Hiramahi's channel. I'm pretty sure it's going to be live, because he's like timing it out for people to be live and awake. So hopefully you guys can all check him out. Go and sub to his channel and check out the live stream. What would you suggest to a beginner as far as a gun? Always love videos. Oh man, for a beginner it's hard, right? Because it all depends on what it is that you want to do. What did you see that makes you want to get into airbrushing? Nowadays, it's so easy to get confused, right? So like if you're doing t-shirts, if you wanted to get t-shirts or get into doing t-shirts, I would recommend something like an Eclipse BCS or like a 155 Anthem, like my Anthems that are over there. For the 0.5 millimeter needle, and you know just how easy they are to clean and maintain. Those particular airbrushes are really good for t-shirts. If you're trying to get into fine art, again, it's going to depend on what did you see and what is it you want to accomplish. But a good starting point, I feel, is still like the Iwata Revolution or a Badger, like a Patriot 105. Those are about similar in performance and quality. Whatever you get though, make sure you order it from Spray Gunner. Obviously, if you're getting an Iwata, I would recommend just get it from Coast Airbrush at this point. Amazon and eBay are kind of like hit or miss, and I would just, at this point, it's just like, just go with a place that is gonna stand behind their reputation a little bit, you know. Spray Gunner doesn't sell Iwata products, so you know, Coast Airbrush sells them. You could order them online. I've never ordered from Coast Airbrush online, so I can't say much about their quality of service or anything, but I'm pretty sure Dave and them will take good care of you if you just message them and stuff. So estoy aprendiendo bastante. Bueno, suerte, Chapito. Saludos, Lalo. They are not as good. I don't know. Right on. Thank you, Yvette. Good luck to you too in your painting. What's up, James? How's it going? Yep. Spray Gunner's pretty good. Leahy caricature. I don't know if I'd call it a caricature, but this painting is kind of like inspired by him. It's Steve Leahy inspired caricature, because I'm not familiar too much with his face, and I've seen him on live streams and stuff, but I didn't want to get a picture of him and like look at it. This is just kind of what I imagine, like his mind, or like the way that he's working, and I'm just like, you know, because it's so tiny, and I don't think people realize it's so easy to forget, right? Because nowadays with the zoom on the cameras, and he'd be zooming in, but I always keep a look at the needle, right? And I'm just like, I see how zoomed in he is on that needle, and I'm just like, holy kabuli, my guy, that's... Thank you. All right, cool, Kenneth Collins. I mean, hopefully that helps you out. I know I'm kind of vague, but yeah, it all depends on what you want to accomplish. But those are kind of the beginner ones, and that'll actually kind of like go away. Like you could go a long way with either one of those, right? Like a Revolution, you could go from learning to actually doing really nice stuff with it, as well as the Patriot. Alright, and I'm just trying to keep this edge here, so I'm just taping that off real quick. So yeah, I'll actually get to meet Steve and stuff, and the plan right now is to, this is basically a painting for him, for helping out with the giveaway and everything. And he's put some ideas in my head that I'm just like, how do I get that out? What's up, Lyle? You picked up your Iwata at Hobby Lobby. Yeah, I mean that's a good, like, that's the good thing about Iwata too, is that they're available everywhere. So when I was heavy into shirts, and I'd stop at Meiningers, there was literally the only brand they carried was Iwata. And oh no, wait, I lied. They had Pache too, but they never had it in stock. And yeah, I went in and bought Iwatas all the time. The BCS was my favorite. He does amazing work. I'm sure you'll like it. I mean, hopefully he likes it. I'm not done yet, so we're barely getting started. And yeah, by the time we're done, hopefully it comes out with something that I'm proud enough to show to him. I'm not gonna just. And who knows? We're gonna see how far we get today too. So it might be a two-parter. I don't know. So I'm working kind of quick right now, but this is just the white foundation, and then we're gonna get into the good stuff. So. What's up, Blue Bayou? Started following. Thank you for following. What up, Dennis? What up, what up, what up? You just bought a master airbrush and a no-name brand. Now an Anthem 155. Hey, that's a good collection already, starting it up. Lots of airbrushes means lots of choices. So this is a 0.3 millimeter needle right now. So the whole idea here is he has like a magnifying glass with another magnifying glass, and he's looking so focused up onto the needle. And that's what he's focused on. So you see the needle there, and all the way down to the needle here. And we're gonna have his eyeballs kind of stretching out into the. For fine art, smart strokes, how does that work? So it's a hard thing to explain needle sizes. I think a lot of people think right now that the smaller the needle is kind of the finer the spray. And to a certain point, I guess that's true, but it's very possible to get fine lines and stuff with a 0.5 millimeter airbrush. Usually a finer needle will let you have finer control over a finer medium. So if you reduce your paint more, you'll be able to have better control with it with a finer needle, because it'll kind of more directly point it at something. Does that mean that you can't get fine lines with like a 0.5 millimeter needle? No, because you can still do that, no problem. And I don't know, back in the day it was, I hate saying back in the day, but most of the airbrush artists I met during my time of actually like meeting some local artists, I've never met like no name brand artist. It's the best way to put it. But most of them ran 0.5 millimeter needles, and that was just the standard. You know, that's what I ran, and that's what everybody ran, and we were just doing like whatever we wanted with it, like everything, right? Portraits, everything. Like it was just your all-around airbrush. So yeah, I don't know. I do remember the time I got an Eclipse HPCS, right, and I started getting into doing motorcycles and more automotive stuff. And the reason I had to get a top feed airbrush is because at the time we were working with enamel paints, and so even though we could have them in a little squirt bottle, having them in the like airbrush t-shirt bottles, it didn't make sense. So that was the main reason I got CS back then, was to have the top feed, and then it just made it super easy. Like you could mix the colors inside of the top feed and stuff. But being that I was heavy into shirts, I didn't do that much fine art, you know, back then. It was all just t-shirts. So. But I would recommend most people learn on a 0.5 millimeter. It's going to be more forgiving, and you're going to have a better time starting up with a 0.5 than something really fine. Because then you have to learn how to control the paint like a little bit too much. And like I said, a 0.5 is just more forgiving. So. I don't know, that's just how I learned, that's the way I've done it. But yeah, having a 0.5, like the benefits of having a 0.5, even if you have other airbrushes around, you should have a 0.5 airbrush around, just because of the paint you can spray through it. So it's very possible to spray paint straight out of a bottle with a 0.5. You know, just up the pressure a little bit, and you can spray paint straight out of the bottle, even the opaques, no problem. So, and then, you know, for the UVLS clear, for the sealers, for all that stuff, it sprays out so much better out of a 0.5 than it does out of a really fine airbrush. And you don't have to reduce it as much, and save yourself on reducer, and save yourself on paint. There's just benefits to having different sets of airbrush. That's why I have lots of them. You guys see my setup, so it just depends on what I'm doing. You're turning 33. Yeah, I turned 34 last year. I turned 35 this year. It just feels like I've been doing this forever, right? So that's kind of how it feels. So for shirts, you're gonna want a 0.5, and because it's, you know, you're gonna want to run paint straight out of the bottle, because you don't want to get a t-shirt wet, right? A t-shirt gets wet, unlike a canvas and stuff. Like the actual t-shirt gets wet, and you'll have a really bad time if you get it wet. So you don't want to reduce paints. You also don't want to reduce paints because of the binders in the paint, in the original Createx. You don't want to break those down too much, because that's what makes it all kind of stick, right, when you heat press it. So you want to run the paint straight out of the bottle, and you want to run a 0.5, And you're gonna want about 35 to 40 psi, maybe 45. Depends on what you're spraying. Running too much pressure with shirts too could be kind of that double-edged sword where people want to do it because you can get finer lines, but also what happens is that you start running the paint into the fabric, like instead of it kind of sitting on the fabric on the top part, you start running it through, so you start going through a lot more paint in order to make it show up and pop on the shirt. So it's a double-edged sword. You got to be careful with that. But I say the sweet spot's between 35 and 40. That's kind of how I like to spray it, and it sprays good for t-shirts. So when you're looking for a compressor, you're gonna want to look at the PSI and stuff is nice. You know, the more PSI that it holds and all that, it's pretty good. But you're gonna really want to look at the CFM and see how much CFM it produces. So the CFM is kind of its refill rate, or like how much air pressure you can get out of it in constant use. So something with a low CFM is going to have to turn on a lot more constantly, as something with a high CFM is going to turn on, run for maybe a minute, and then it's going to shut off because it's going to build up pressure a lot faster. So yeah. So that's kind of my best advice right now. If you're just going to be doing light shirts, or if you're just looking to learn, one of the compressors that I use for like events and stuff, for small events when I'm doing shirts, is the California Air Tools 1P1060S, I believe. It's a small compressor that's quiet. It has 2 little tanks on it, and it runs pretty good, and it has a pretty good refill rate, so it charges up and turns off right away. And if you're just running at like 35, 40 psi, it holds up pretty good. As long as you're not like, you know, as long as you don't have your hand on the trigger for 2 hours. If you're doing like, you know, doing this, do a line, and then let it go, do this, do a line, you know, normal use, it does just fine for me at events and stuff. So I've used that thing for so many events by now, it's crazy. Well, yeah, last year, 2019, was the last time I did an event. It feels like it was yesterday, and it was so long ago. Oh my God, that whole year was gone, bro. Oh, I was stuck in this garage for that whole year. That's wild. That's wild to think about. I did get a lot of projects done. We were able to dig in deep into the automotive work and stuff. But I'd be lying if I didn't say, like, man, I miss just like painting shoes at the mall for Uggs, or, you know, like anything, doing a bar mitzvah, doing hats. Like, I miss it, man. I miss the music. I miss the questions. Those are the fun times. That's when you have the most fun airbrushing. People are there. They're allowed to have a good time. They're just normal people, right? Not other artists, because normal people can really appreciate it. So man, it's hard to believe it's been here for a year, bro. Oh. And you know what's funny is that the first time I'm gonna get out, it's to go to the Airbrush rendezvous. I literally have been stuck in here this whole time, haven't gone anywhere. Everything is closed, so it's not like by choice. It's literally, I can't do nothing. You know, there's restaurants, but they're like limited capacity. You have to make all these reservations and stuff. I don't know what it is about me and my wife. We just like being off the cuff, like, oh, what do you feel like eating? Oh, let's go over here, right? But now we can't do that. Like, every time that happens, it's like, oh, we pull up and it's like, no, you gotta have a reservation. There's no, like, no. So we've been waiting. I get my second vaccine on Friday, so I'm super excited for that. Man. Cubic feet per minute, yeah. I was trying to think of the words and I couldn't think of the words. Thank you, Steven. Yeah, you're really gonna want to look at the CFM for sure, because low CFM it's gonna take forever to recharge, or you're gonna just have a hard time with it. So get something with a high CFM and a good little tank, and you'll be good. There are compressors out there that are small and have high CFM, so you gotta take your gamble on those. So I've been wanting to get one of those 2D compressors from Spray Gunner, just so I could take a look at it, because I know I've had quite a few people ask me about them. Because that's the one I have linked down below. If you go down below, there's an Airbrush compressor that's linked. It's called the 2D by No Name. The only thing is I've never used it, right? So I hate recommending stuff I've never used. That's just the general policy around here, is I don't do that. So I need to get my hands on one so I can try it and really, see what's up with it. Maybe I need to take it off of there. I don't know. From what I've seen, it looks like it's a pretty good little compressor. You gambled on a few compressors, you ended up getting a 6-gallon tank. Oh yeah, that's that's a decent sized tank. Such low pressure it hardly turns on. Yeah, that's kind of the key. That's where the tank comes in, right? It's like, that's why I tell people, the bigger the tank, the better. Like, just get yourself a big tank. It's usually gonna last longer, You're just gonna have a better experience with it, and you'll be able to, it opens possibilities too, right? Having a bigger compressor with a bigger tank just opens up possibilities on what you can paint, what you can explore. The silent ones are expensive and get hot too fast. Yeah, so that is a thing. If I'm really busy, like at an event with that 1P, that California Air Tools 1P1060S, oh my god, that's a lot of words. I'll put a fan on it, or I'll swap it out. If I'm expecting to be busy, I'll usually bring a backup compressor, and it's a big loud one. And I'll run it far away, and then I'll run a long air hose to where I'm painting, and that's kind of the backup plan. But usually I'll feel it out. What is the vibe of where I'm going to be working? Is it going to be busy, super busy? If I'm going to have certain hours that I'm going to be busy, because you just never know. Sometimes it's hard to gauge. you have CO2 tank for events. That's the ultimate setup is CO2 tanks because you can set up anywhere, no electricity needed. You haven't done an event since the 80s. Yeah. Oh man, you're the only person I've heard of that still had CO2 tanks. So yeah, I used to have a CO2 tank back in the early thousands, but it wouldn't last very long, and the pressure is just one pressure. There's so you couldn't make money, so you got a regular job. You're retired now, so playing with it again. Yeah, it takes a lot of work. You got to keep at it to make money. I know I've had people tell me like, oh, why don't you just specialize in painting this? And it's because like I want to make money. I have to pay bills, and so if I just waited around for people to only want like shoes airbrushed, it would just take a long time. So a lot of airbrush businesses you'll see do more than just the airbrushing. They do a lot of different services. And that's kind of how I am. I like to, whatever you want painted. It's not just airbrushing like on shirts. It's like whatever. You want some body paint done? Like I'm down. You want a portrait? I'm down. You want some flames on your car? Like I'm down. Whatever it is you want. Because I do have real bills that need real money to pay for real stuff. A lot of times that's how it is. You got to take what you can get, and it's not always like this, just painting nice stuff, you know. But it makes you appreciate it when you do get this chance. You know, honestly, I thought this last year was gonna be like that. I thought I was gonna have to get a normal job and stuff because I didn't know what to do. I honestly did not know what to do when all the events and stuff started getting canceled and it just started getting word of everything just falling apart in front of my face. I was just like, what do I do? Like, yeah. So yeah, luckily like everything kind of worked out. So a bicycle pump on my China airbrush. No, that would take too long. You'd have to be like, what's up, Easy Airbrush? You have to be a salesman too, and that's harder than the actual airbrush. Yeah, this is true. This is true. A lot of people don't take that into account. They think that they're just going to paint something and people are just going to want their nuts for no reason, you know? But that's not how it works. Alright, so I'm going to take some of these gear stencils and I'm going to kind of lay them in, and I'm going to put these in now so that we can kind of have those in place, and then we'll work our way around. Yeah, shoes are cool to, I mean, if you're going to start off, I mean, they're cool to paint. Shoes are just cool to paint, but for learning, it's hard, right? Because not everything from a shoe transfers to everything else. So, it's kind of that thing. I would recommend everybody learn on paper towels, and learn the basics and get really good at the basics, and then move on to other stuff. And believe me, you'll thank me in the long run, because you're going to save yourself a lot of headache and troubles and a lot of questions. I did not start by knowing everything. Like, that is not how this happened. I started off on paper, and then it took me a long time before I actually started moving on to doing like shapes and shading. And once I actually decided that I wanted to do t-shirts, I started practicing my lettering. Yeah, and then from there, that's kind of how I went. But yeah, I started on paper. I started learning on that. And then after I was painting the shirts for a while, people started asking about getting their shoes done and stuff. And so you start dabbling in some shoes, you know, doodling, dabbling, and that's kind of how that went. So I just want some of these kind of going around. But yeah, I've seen Easy Airbrush's Instagram was popping up. I was like, ooh, this boy just posting them all at once. Save some for tomorrow. Save some for tomorrow. It's actually probably really bad for your profile. Your profile is gonna get buried. Here. Get back up there. All right. Just got some black in here. You messed up. You've been watching my stuff on and off for 6 years. Thank you. You paint on garbage. You took that to heart, man. You've been doing that for a while now. Fun as hell, too. Yeah, I don't know. I hope I didn't offend you. I don't mean to offend. I just be talking. I'm just a talking head. Don't forget, I'm just a talking head. So, yeah. Let's see, take this one. The idea of paper towels, yeah, that's been an old school thing since I started learning. I can't even take credit for that because that's something I read in a book. I legit read it in a book. Now we have all our nice gears in there. And we're actually going to just kind of leave that like that. At the very end, like I said, I'm going to cut out our actual shape here. And we'll put them in place, and then we'll kind of give everything a nice dark outline. But we'll use the stencil for that so that it's nice and crisp. But now we can start laying in some colors. And yeah, I kind of wanted to get fancy with the colors. I wanted to start like make some red, yellow tones down here, like some yellow and red, and then have his face kind of have a red glow, right? Like a little bit of a red glow or yellow glow, but then have him have more of a green and blue kind of tone. So that's kind of what I want to go for on the color tones there. So let's raise that up a little bit. All right. Just getting the camera to actually stay where you want it is hard. So anyway, let's start off with some colors here. So we have white and black loaded. I'm going to leave the white and black. Use the air code right here. I think I'm just going to start off with some yellow. Some yellow. Cereal boxes are great too. Yeah, cereal boxes can work. So the reason I used to practice on paper towels, and the reason it said so to do so in the book, was for t-shirts, right? So if you're airbrushing t-shirts or plan to airbrush t-shirts, the whole reason you want to use paper towels is because it's kind of absorbent, like a shirt is. So it gives you the best kind of a feel like a shirt does. So, yeah. Use paper coffee cups. I mean, whatever you want to use, it all works to practice. Shoot. Alright, so I'm just going to start with some yellow. And say here, we're going to start yellow. The inside is grayish. Let's see you white better. What? Inside is grayish. Let's see you white better. Oh, lets you see white better. Oh yeah. I was reading the words backwards. I'm an idiot. inside of a cereal box. Oh, oh, okay. Not gonna lie, I can't confirm or deny your story because I haven't looked at the inside of too many cereal boxes. I'm not gonna lie. What's up, Tommy Art? Saludos, saludos. Gracias, gracias. What do I think of master airbrushes? So, I don't know. I think it's a hard thing to say, man. It's not that they're bad. They're not bad. It's a great starter airbrush and stuff like that. It's missing some of the stuff you would want to see on airbrushes, like seals. Right? So the things that make some of these other airbrushes kind of good is the Teflon seals, so you're able to clean it and it doesn't get super dirty. I still have some master airbrushes. I have used master airbrushes quite successfully in the past without anybody ever saying anything about, oh, the work, doesn't look the same or anything like that. Nobody ever noticed, like, at least customer-wise. So I must say that, and yeah, they work really great for what they are, but I would not expect it to last a lifetime, right? It's just like with anything you buy for 20 bucks, like, they don't, it's not gonna hold up, you know what I'm saying? You buy a pair of pants at Walmart or you buy a pair of pants at Sears or something, and like, you know the difference when you buy the good pants, like, it's the same thing with an airbrush, I can't really go and say that they're horrible airbrushes and they shouldn't be out there, because they are decent for what they are, and for certain people they might just be fine. Like some people, my whole argument for them being there is that some people aren't gonna know if they really like airbrushing, right? So you just want to try it, and the master airbrushes allow you to do that for the price. And then from there you can decide, like, yeah, if I liked it, the way it performed out of the box, then it's probably worth investing into a nice airbrush. But the thing is that if you invest into a nice airbrush and a whole nice setup from the get-go, and then a month into it you're kind of like, I don't know if I'm really into this as much as I thought or whatever, then you're like $1,000 in the hole. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, you have all this stuff that you can't really, it doesn't have a whole lot of resale value, right? You could try to sell it on Facebook and do that whole shebang, but like, there's not really a whole market for used airbrushes or anything like that, so you'd be in the hole for all that stuff. So if up front you know that it's something you're gonna want to do, and you're gonna want to do it, like you're already into art and you're just trying to expand your art tools, then you should probably invest into a nice airbrush. If you're undecided, if you just think it's something that looks cool and you just maybe want to paint a little project shirt for your daughter or something like that every now and then, or you just want to try around and mess on some paper towels just to see if you even got the hang of it, then yeah, you get a master airbrush, and yeah, they perform great out of the box. But I'd be lying if I didn't say you had to do like crazy maintenance on them, because there's basically no seals. There's a metal seal on the where it matters, right? And that's in the back here. So right here between your cup and your trigger, there's a seal here. Most airbrushes have a Teflon seal that's kind of screws in now. And those master airbrushes are kind of based off of old designs where those seals are not present, or if it's usually a metal seal, so they'll have like a nickel or a copper metal seal there that really wears off and goes after time, and you could feel it sometimes, that it'll be really grindy on the airbrush. So yeah, I mean, they are what they are, Can I call something that's $20 crap when it's only $20? Not really. Like, you know what you're getting. You spend $20. you definitely can't say it's better than Iwata or anything like that. No way. There's no way. There's no comparison. That's why I've never even compared them. It's like there's no way. There's no comparison. I don't think they don't dare to compare themselves either. And honestly, the closest I have felt an airbrush feel to an Iwata is those the GSI Creos here. And I'm looking to try some of the other ones, just because that airbrush did surprise me. Like as soon as it hit my hand, I was like, "Whoa, that is nice." So alright, so we've got a little bit of yellow in here. But I would recommend a master airbrush over a Harbor Freight airbrush. If your little cousin or somebody's like, I really want to get into airbrushing, and you just want to get them like an airbrush for them to like practice or get into it or whatever, spend $20 on a master airbrush. And just do not go to Harbor Freight. Do not kill their dreams like that. At least give him a fighting chance. What's up, Vinny Higgs? How's it going? Alright, so I'm just going to add a little bit of red to mix up some orange in here. That way we can work up through some orange and red tones. But I'm just going to add a little bit to the yellow that we had left over. I'm just going to throw a little bit more reducer, just a tad bit. Just so all this kind of stirs up and flows out real nice. So that's the best I could explain the master airbrush is like. It is what it is. For $20, not bad. Compare it to a $200 airbrush, not good. I mean, that's my perspective, right? You gotta look at it from the value perspective. Is like, how much did you pay, and what can you get out of it? Yeah, for $20, not bad. Would I compare it to a $200 airbrush? No. That's actually the easier way to explain it right there. Oh, Master has a new Pro version. It's black and around $150. Oh my God, bro, am I gonna have to order a $150 Master airbrush? I have to review it. It has to happen. I'm pretty sure some companies were very mad when I did my unboxing and review of the Master G22 and the G44, and how I did my review, which is value based, like I do all my reviews, and I stand by what I said. For $20, it is cool. Like $20, that's a nice airbrush for $20. But I was careful not to be like, this is amazing, this is the best airbrush ever. Like, no, I clearly said for $20, this is cool. It's great for $20. But it did, I'm sure it shook up a lot of market share. They probably sold a ton of airbrushes based off of that review. And all I gotta say is, maybe the market needed some fucking shaking, man. Maybe that fucking tree it has too many locusts on it, man. I just had to run up and shake all the locusts out of that fucking shit. Pache Vision. No, keep wanting to like the Pache airbrushes, but every time one touches my hand, I'm just disappointed, man. I'm disappointed because they put that eagle on there so proudly, and they're like American and all this, but then it's like, oh man, I hope that's not the best we could do. I honestly feel like the people at Pache have just never actually like seen the competition or like gone out and like, yo, if you're any kind of a brand, right, and you have a major competition and you want to get an edge, you should probably go and check out what your competition's selling. And yeah, every time I grab a Pache airbrush, it just feels like I don't know. It feels like I took a step back in airbrushing or something. Like it feels like, you know. For a company that's been around for so long, I hate to bash on them. It's like, I want to like them. Every time I try an airbrush, I'm just like, oh, I'm so excited. It looks like a really nice airbrush. Every time I pick one up, I'm just like, this looks really good. When I got to Talon, I was like the yellow and like I was like all about it. You know, the same with Airco. Like I'm about it. Like you do some colors like this, I like it, right? But then if it starts performing like crap, it's like, oh man. The Cobra is still holding up. Yeah, I've been using it a lot for all the projects around here. I used it on that Impala that just went out, the Boss Life Queen car, for all the graphics on that, just because it sprays out really good. And that car, all the little scrolls or whatever are actual Caribe blue candy. So you have to use the 4050 for it. And this airbrush, even though it's a 0.3, I think it was 0.35, it sprays out a like nice heavy paint really good. So it has a nice spray pattern, and it still gets really fine in the details. If you turn the air pressure down, it's really nice. Right on, Daryl. Thank you, thank you. You hear bongos? Yeah, you could probably hear the music. The music that I can't hear, you could probably hear it. All I can hear is the garage door creaking. See, look at the camera has moved. Didn't I have it like on this? Now it's like not. Ugh. Anyway, I could probably zoom you guys in a little more here. There you go. You have the best paint. How do you clean and store your airbrush? So when I do put them away, like the ones I have put away, they get cleaned out really good with 4008 Restore. I make sure to clean them out after the 4008 Restore with some reducer. If it's like a particularly like a grindy airbrush, there's certain airbrushes that need lube, you know, just so that they feel smooth. I'll lube it up, and then it'll go back in its package and get put away. I actually still have all the original packaging for all these airbrushes, even the master airbrushes, sitting back there. So, but for the most part, all these airbrushes at the end of the day, like the one I'm using right now, will get rinsed out really good, and then they pretty much get left with reducer in them, so that when I come out in the morning, they'll be nice and fresh and ready for me to use. And then once a month or so, I literally do take them off the rack and do a complete and thorough cleaning, just so that any paint that has set, I can get it out. It's usually not anything, like it's usually just making sure it's nice and clean and shiny. Just because it's not super shiny, you know, so just making sure it's shiny. Right on, Blue Bayou. Have a good night. We'll see you later. And that's usually the method of attack, I guess. Alright, so we're almost done with the orange. Yeah, you can use rubbing alcohol in a pinch. I know rubbing alcohol works pretty good on Createx paint, so if all you're using is Createx, yeah, you can use some rubbing alcohol every now and then. Would I recommend it all the time? No, but in a pinch, it probably will work okay. So what I use for rinsing out, it's just a little bit of water with Dawn dish soap in a nice spray bottle. Rinse it out really good. Do a bunch of sprays in there. Make sure it's really good. Backwash it and all that good jazz. And then I use the 4011 reducer. If it's a thorough cleaning, if something's stuck in it or something like that, or like my monthly cleaning, then I take out the 4008 Restore And I'll usually let them sit in it for like 15 minutes or something. You know, sweep the garage or something while it's soaking in there, and then I'll go and take my little brushes out and really kind of just clean up the whole airbrush using the brushes. And you'll usually notice, I don't know, nobody's noticed on stream yet, but you'll notice on the days after I've done it, because you'll, like right now, I don't know how well you can see, but there's a little bit of black stains, like there. You can see that black little paint stain, right, on the airbrushes, and it happens. And really, stains on the outside don't bother me too much, because I always just focus on the inside of the cup and the nozzle. And as long as those are clean, I'm pretty happy. The outside aesthetic is not really that important, but that's why I let them sit in 4,000 degree storage, just to loosen up any kind of stuff that's set on the cup or on the outside and stuff like that. But usually the inside of it is really clean, and if anything, just like a little chunk of dry paint comes out, just a little bit, like a little tiny one. I would just recommend you rinse out your airbrushes really good. Like, I mean, rinse it out good. Like, you don't want to rinse it out again. Rinse it out. Do you reduce your wicked paint? Yes. Yes. You use 4011 reducer. What I use around here. Alright, I'm just going to add some more red onto the orange here. Let's see, this is probably going to be the last color of red, and then we'll switch over to some purple and maybe some blues, and then we'll do some light blue, some of that daylight blue that we have here on the edge, and then at the very end I'll come in with that limelight green, and we'll do some highlights all in the limelight green before we do the white. So the Pro Convoy works great. Yeah, the GSI Krios, otherwise known as the Pro Convoy. So a lot of people don't know. The reason it's known as the Pro Convoy and stuff. So I already answered that. For t-shirts, you do not reduce. I answered that earlier. It should be pretty obvious. And once you actually try painting a shirt, it's more than obvious. You don't reduce, because your shirt will get wet. Right, the more reducer you add to your paint, the more wet the paint is, and if you start painting on a shirt that's made out of cotton or cloth, it's really going to start showing. It's going to get wet, so be careful. Like I said earlier too, you also don't want to break down the binders, and you don't want to necessarily use wicked paint on shirts, so you want to use the original line. That's what's recommended. In a pinch, you can use the wicked line on shirts. In a pinch. But if you have a choice and you know you're going to be painting shirts, go for the original. It's real easy to get confused if you're not paying attention. People see me using the wicked on this, you know, they assume that you could just do this and take it onto a shirt, but that is not how it works. Painting on metal is way different than painting on shirts, so. You like wet t-shirts. Dale the airbrush guy just. Who's that? I don't know who that is. Dale reduces his paint on shirts? I hope he's not doing it on shirts. I think like I said, if you get like a chunky bottle of Createx, like maybe sometimes you get an extra thick bottle, adding like 5% reducer in it is fine. You know, but I wouldn't go any farther than that. You're going to saturate the shirt, and you're going to break down the binders in the shirt that make the paint stick onto a shirt, right? The original Createx line is different than the Wicked line, so. If your plan is to heat press the shirt when you're done, definitely don't want to reduce at all, because that shirt will fade. It's like, believe me, I've already tested this. I've already done my own testing here at home. It's the reason I know not to use the candies on shirts, not to use 40/50 on shirts. So I literally did a test shirt where we did all this, and just so I could get my own feedback, so I knew what to do, right? I didn't want to be that guy painting shirts using 40/50 and then people coming back and be like, hey, my shirt faded, you know, after I washed it. Because anybody who's ever sold a shirt knows that that's literally the #1 complaint, right? Is either people will love their shirt, or they'll be like, hey, something happened to my shirt, you know? So I always make sure I try to guarantee that the shirt's going to last through a wash. And just from my own personal testing, not from the Createx website or nothing, but from my own personal testing, you don't want to reduce the original line. It'll break down the binders and it won't stick as well. And again, it wets the shirt. So and like just earlier in this stream, I was talking about using too much air pressure right on shirts, and how it kind of it makes the paint punch into the shirt, and instead of like kind of sitting on the fabric, it punches all the way through into the board. So you end up using a lot more paint trying to make the shirt look good, because you're just punching your paint through. Kind of the same thing with reducer. If you start using too much reducer, it just starts soaking into the shirt instead of, you know, grabbing where you want it to sit. So.
You done yet?
No, why?
Okay, I'm gonna eat without you.
What did you get to eat?
Please.
Oh my gosh, I guess I'm done. How long have I been streaming? Can you?
A while.
Have I?
Yeah.
I guess we could leave it for tomorrow. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
You're messing with me.
Okay, I'll be inside.
Alright, give me like 15 minutes. Alright, so we're gonna have to call it. Oh, the Procon Boy story. Oh yeah, so I looked into the company, and it's basically manufactured by Createx, but the way the Gunze brand, so the GSI Creos was the Gunze brand before, and it's actually like a really popular brand, and in Japan, right? So it's a well-known brand in Japan. Why is that hard to say? Anyway, they're a well-known brand in Japan, and the reason they have those kind of names, like the Procon Boy and all that, is because it's kind of like the Gundam kind of characters and stuff. So it's kind of based all around that, because that was kind of the brand name and stuff. So the brand name was Gunze, and it was, you know, modeled after painting Goomplas and the Gundams and stuff. So yeah. When I use reducer and paint on a shirt, I notice that it wicks into the shirt more, so you use more paint to cover. Yeah, exactly. Like, it'll end up soaking in a lot worse, and you'll end up using, like, it just makes it a harder, rougher time, honestly. And generally, you're just better off not reducing on a shirt. use a bigger, wider needle. Like a 0.5 millimeter up the air pressure, and you'll have no problem getting fine lines or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Alright, so I'm just gonna finish up his hand here, and then she came home with wings, bro. So I can't deny the wingage right now. I'm hungry too. I've been getting these panels ready all day, cleaning the garage, and just getting ready for this stream all day. And I guess I've been airbrushing for a while, so we'll continue it tomorrow. Like I said, my plan is to jam panels for the next month or so. So we might take there might be a slight break on the how to airbrush videos, but there's going to be a major push on the quality of the art that I'm going to produce over the next month, because obviously people don't walk into my shop and ask for stuff like this. People are like, I want a skull with fire, like that's what's going. So yeah, right on, break a leg. We'll see you later. You wish you could get your paint to flow so well. So just use some more reducer. And this is opaque paint or opaque paint. So, toss some more reducer in there, or mess around with the air pressure. I actually had a... That's the sign. That's the sign. It's time to end the stream. I'm sorry about your ears. I'm sorry. But anyway, like I was saying, yeah, we're gonna do these panels over the next month, and yeah, I'm gonna be streaming them. So yeah, there might be a break on the how to airbrush videos until I come back from California. And then even then, there might be a little bit of a break because I do have to make some projects, obviously using the Luminar to have some Luminar projects to show around to customers. So I am gonna have to do that. I'll probably do some of those on stream. So yeah, but yeah, I think that's where we're gonna stop for today. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and we're gonna finish it up tomorrow. Hopefully the wife starts her new work schedule tomorrow. So tomorrow around 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. or so, my time, I should be able to get on and we should be able to be like undisturbed working for the rest of the afternoon. So the compressor doesn't usually sound that loud. Yeah, sorry, I'm just because we're on this other microphone, I didn't want to wear my headset today. So, but yeah, we'll get the headset on for tomorrow and everything. And yeah, but yeah, I gotta go eat some food. I'm actually getting real thirsty and stuff too, so I need to drink some water and everything. But like I said, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll finish up this painting and get it all kind of in there. And yeah, all you guys enjoy your night. Have a good night. And don't work too hard tomorrow on Monday. We'll see you guys later.